So here we go. Start this on the solo tuba. Right, now, of course, you've noticed there, of course, that I didn't actually forgot that the tuba was still on the and this is what can happen. Oh dear, oh dear. So the tuba was still on, and I wasn't intending having the tuba on then. So if you jumped, my apologies. Not going well so far, is it? Valentine's Day, I think it's the story of my life, really. Anyway, I thought I'd take a book from the marriage section of the old hymn book. I particularly like the tune here, Saffron Walden, and we used it the other day, and I thought it would be nice to have it again here. So here we go with O God of love, to thee we bow, to the tune Saffron Walden. So from the old book, a lovely tune, Saffron Walden, and the next hymn can also be found in the old book at 777. O perfect love. And I know that this would have been sung at a good deal of weddings. Not so familiar these days at the weddings, but I remember, this is a little bit of a side, it's got nothing to do with weddings or anything, but I do remember my father saying to me, "No, don't play that like that again." I did get a bit carried away and started sort of doing a bit of a and so on, and it was drawing attention to me and not to the words of the hymns, all this flamboyant kind of stuff. The thing of youth kind of thing, but it was a lesson which I took on board, and it's important to enhance the words and not detract from them. That came up in a discussion on Facebook the other day, how it is just so important that nothing detracts from the words. So and this would have been such fitting words, wouldn't it, for a wedding. So, O Perfect Love, tuned by Barnaby. did have a suggestion about stories and things which haven't always gone to plan about weddings and who chooses the music and all this sorts of thing, which go on. There have been, during my career as an organist, there have been several things which have happened. When they were building the new road there across at Mitchell, up to Carland Cross and all the rest of it, I was meant to play for a wedding at, I'm not sure it's St Enador or St Enadoc, but that church there, I think it's St Enador, and that church has several things about it over the years. Anyway, the roadworks were happening. I thought that we'd set out in plenty of time from Truro Methodist, and I'd bring in some members of a choir to sort of sing as well, members of the choir, some people we got together to sing. And would you believe, well, we were just absolutely stuck. We couldn't, we were stuck, and we were late for the wedding. In fact, we were so late, I think Justin and Jonathan Brown, and might have been Clive at the time, was singing as well. And I think members, we were so late that the bride had been around several times, and they asked one of the boys, did they play the organ? Anyway, eventually we got there, and we did the wedding, but some of my passengers were slightly, because I'd taken a sort of different route to try and get there quicker, it didn't help at all, and they were quite car sick by the time I got there. But there we go. So that's one funny little thing. Another thing about that church is we went there, I think the choir went there again. Somebody else played for the wedding, but he wasn't quite what we were expecting, I think, in some ways, and things didn't go as well as they might have done. I think it was another, I think once again it was that church. Don't let me put you off from getting married at this church if you're thinking about it, but I remember going there with the bride and groom to do a rehearsal or something, and I had this sort of feeling, is this a good idea? Well, they did get married, but I don't think it lasted too long, so there we are. So 364, as man and woman we were made. Sussex carol tune, nice Christmas carol tune, so here we go. the years, I've never kept count of the weddings I've played for. Some stand out more so than others. The family weddings that I've played for, all the praisemaker weddings that I've played for. I've joked before about praisemakers perhaps being the biggest dating agency in the southwest at one time, and quite possibly it was. But what is happening here? Let's just turn that off as well. And so I got to play for lots of praisemaker weddings over the years. That's always been great fun. And I've got other weddings of younger people from people at the church coming up. I've done several of those, or been part of it now these days. It's good when you know, if a couple want to do something different, fine by me. And choices of music, often interesting. There were a couple that came up with a piece, and it was a trio sonata, I think, in E flat by Bach, which is something I learned probably when I was at churro school, and I hadn't done anything to for a long time. So so I said to them, all right then, I'll do that for you, no extra charge. Anyway, so I said, how did you come to decide upon this piece? So I said, oh, well, we found it on a tape of wedding music. So I said, oh, that'd be good. I'd love to see that and see what else is on it. So on the day of the wedding, they gave me the tape and they said, we won't need this anymore, thank you, you can have it. So that became very, very useful, this tape actually, for helping bride and grooms to choose their music. I better not waffle on too long, but you know, it wouldn't be uncommon to sit at the console of the organ and play some tunes with the idea that they could choose. So that's the trumpet voluntary, or you could have yes, or you could have you could have or you could have now what was the first one that you played? Oh, it was this. Perhaps it was, and so on and so on. So this could be quite a long, drawn-out affair. So it was good to have the tape, and they could just take the tape away, and I could actually just, they would tell me, and providing it wasn't something which was going to be ridiculously hard to learn in the time that I would play. And I've always said you can have what you like. I said it to my sisters. I ended up playing, I don't know, bits of the Brandenburg Concerto, Coldplay, all sorts of things, and I did an arrangement of the theme to the Magnificent Seven as well for her to go out to. I said I would do it, and so I did. Anyway, this next hymn I'm sure is going to be a great favourite, and I know a lot of people are going to say, I already know my answer, that this was a hymn that they had at their service, which I think my father would have played the organ. I was there, or perhaps it was her brother Monty. I was there. I was knee-high to a grasshopper before my playing days. Thou God of truth and love, we seek thy perfect way. Lovely words, so fitting for a wedding. So we're coming to the end now of the hymns. Once again, I apologise, I don't seem to be doing very well this evening, and never mind. These things happen from time to time. 267, yeah, loads and loads and stories about weddings and things where the organ has misbehaved. I told you the other day how I fell over inside the organ and thought I had done a lot of nearly did a lot of damage. Another organ I told you about a long time ago at St Michael Penkivel, when I played for Clive and Judith Stevens' daughter's wedding, and got there and couldn't find the key to the organ. Well, the first thing was the ushers. I said, "Oh, I'm the organist. I've come to play for the organ." "Oh, you'll find it at the front." I said, "Oh, right pair of jokers here." And I couldn't find the key, so they volunteered to hotwire it. I'm not entirely sure that was going to be a good idea, but anyway, very kind of them, very thoughtful. And then when I did get it switched on, there was a note stuck. So I thought, oh well, I can't play the whole service with a note stuck. So eventually, with the aid, I think, of Rex Bray's penknife, we took some panels out and I managed to climb in and eventually cease this ciphering note. All sorts of things have happened. The time when the bride has arrived late, for good reasons. There were extenuating circumstances when it was 35 minutes late across at St George's. I remember that one. We had one at TMC when Deborah Beecham, as she is now, there was a slight hiccup there when she discovered that she had the wrong veil when she went to put her dress on, so they got it sorted, but she was late. And the next wedding I played for after that, the bride was 20 minutes late, so it all evened out in the grand scheme of things. And I tend not to do more than the one wedding on a day, or at least if one's at 11 and one's at sort of 2:30 or something, not so bad, but too much stress. And then when, yes, there was one at St Michael Penkivel when she was late as well, 30 minutes. I don't know why she was. I had a great time. I just sat and churned out a load of pieces and did it, Lorgan. I had a whale of a time. Anyway, and there was another occasion where we was doing this. Oh, the sign of the register is always good fun. You never know what's going to happen. There was one where the bride hiked off down to the back of the church during to go and use the necessary facilities, shall we say. In this, was it Laddock? I forget which church it was. Doesn't matter. But they had a lovely young choir which turned up, and they were wonderful singing the hymns. Of course, the nature of hymns has changed a little bit, which might get used these days. One More Step Along the Road comes out quite a lot. I Danced in the Morning, All Things Bright and Beautiful, and so on. Hymns which people know at school. So it's changed over the years. So we had this choir and they sang so well, these youngsters, they really sang so well. And the vicar said to them, "Oh, looking forward to the next hymn." And they didn't do a very good job at all. Whether it was because they were sort of on show all of a sudden, I don't know. Anyway, I digress. So I'm going to do a Lloyd Davy for the last hymn, Love Divine. I'm going to do 2 verses with the Stainer tune. And then I'll do Come Almighty and finish To Blind Wern, the tune by Rowlands, the Welsh tune. So I remember playing for my cousin's wedding in, I think it was St Austell, and thinking, oh, we're going to have Love Divine, and I hadn't checked on which tune was required, so I went with, if you like, the church one, the Stainer tune, Love Divine, All Love's Excelling. Enough waffle, enough chat, let's get on and play. Now there we are. So I did think I would play you another voluntary, and I thought, well, what can I play to end all this? And of course, a piece I've played lots and lots and lots of times over the years. Mind you, I do think I might be taking my life in my hands just a bit this evening, because nothing's quite gone right, has it? So if it doesn't go right, it doesn't go right. But I thought I would play you the Toccata by Mr. Charles Marie Widor. And oops, we don't want that, do we? We don't want that. We probably want that. And I played this lots of times. I wonder if I've ever got it right, but what's a few notes between friends? So to conclude this evening, Charles Marie Widor, everybody's favourite toccata from the Fifth Symphony. Well, there we are. I'll be back on Thursday. I look forward to seeing you all then. Keep your requests coming in. I've had a load of requests for Cornish tunes from Mike Trevorrow, and I'm going to have to look out my old Methodist hymn book, the pre-1935 book. So I will sort those out. We have a few more Cornish tunes, plus the others that the older tunes, and then some which are more modern day ones. Anyway, good night and God bless. Stay safe. Do take care. See you Thursday.